are going to be the future trends in this space, especially just to kind of pick your brains a little bit here. I guess if Richard, if you want to start off, if you have any ideas of what you think this space is going to emerge into, especially from marketers looking to deploy their tactics and expertise in this space.
All right. Yeah. So like the future, I really do believe that you'll see it. There's going to be a more phygital element. I believe NFTs will become, at least for the art side, they'll become more like a certificate of authenticity. I think that you'll see experiences grow to like NFTs will be fancy, highly decorated club cards for some experiences that again they'll be experiences that we've never seen before, and reason why is there'll be money, like there'll be access to cash and resources like we've never seen before. We're coming into an era where there'll be crypto queens and kings minted, on a grand scale, and just some of that utility, right? Like cruise ships, I think there'll be like one of the bigger things will be like NFTs that will have a grand experience where there's like all inclusive utility, right? Just owning the NFT gets everything paid for you, but just by owning it, right? You'll have your taxi, your Uber fare, your airfare, your hotels, your cruises, like your all inclusive resorts. Everything is all included, and there's like non-stop like get-togethers with like the freaking most amazing communities, right? So you'll have all these different things, and everyone will be brought together, right? Different NFT collections will cater to different segments, but you're going to see things on a grand scale that will start catering to the ultra whales, right? And that's where like some of the extreme hodling mechanics that we were, kind of discussing earlier will come into play. And some of that old school marketing, like data backed based strategies, right? They're going to come into play. For at the very least, you'll see like the top 5% of collections be rewarded like they've never been rewarded before. Things like that to encourage competition at the top, and other great things like that. But I think, yeah, NFTs, right? It's just the beginning of where they're going. The economy, and again, just so everybody is aware, right? So I mean, we're big into data, and we've been looking at the data from like OpenSea, Nifty Gateway, and even recent newspaper articles, right? So you're seeing that sales by number, right? So they're down, but if you look at actually like sales by volume, like how many sales, not the amount, the ETH amount, but actually the quantity of sales, we're actually holding stable. And if you go on some of the cooler tools out there, and you just look at the demand and the traffic of Nifty Gateway, OpenSea, some of these bigger markets, you can see a consistent increase in the trend, right? So back in January, right? There's no lying about it. You can look everywhere. You can see in Google Trends and all these different places. We did have a dip. Something happened there, like around January 20th, like a huge dip. Like it went down like 75%, like for searches nationwide. But if you look at, again, if you're looking at correlations, for like Nifty Gateway, OpenSea, some, the bigger marketplaces, you can see there was just a little tiny little dip, like very, very tiny, like little ant hill or a little ant valley. And then everything just continues. Like the trend, it actually picks up where it left off, and it may actually increase, right? So you're seeing like demand increasing. We're not there's nothing there to indicate for what the market, there's some crazy stuff going on right now, but from what I'm seeing in the data, and again, my background, mini tabs and all that, I mean, I'm able to do, stocks 10 years out, for forecasting, but we're seeing that there's mass panic, there's an overreaction, but the trends, the demand, the growth, it's there, and there's going to be some huge things coming, right? Like right around the corner, there's like for ETH, right? There's going to be the major thing there where they have the major transition for energy efficiency. Also the mechanics, right? They actually have it to where like the tokenomics, they'll actually make it so that the price appreciates. Right now, the current state, right, the way it's programmed or designed, it actually is causing the price to go down. So there's a lot of other mechanics coming in, where we're assuming that it's going to, further amplify the pace at which the demand grows. And I think that's the other thing too. So there's two ways to go about this, right? For the future, there's one that doesn't look so bright, and there's another one that looks mega fucking awesome, right? Like, let's fucking go to the next level. Getting on Tyler's excitement there, and I think what it is you have to see, right? We have to come into an era where all the degens, the early adopters, all of us that came in and emotionally, we really believe in the future. We threw our money at it really easily. That there's supreme utility raining down, right? Because all of the masses, the next wave, like the critical mass, right, to get to the next level, right? They're on the mountains peaks right now, looking down, watching all of us, trying to see what the hell just happened right now. I'm hearing good, I'm hearing bad, but was it really rewarding? Because again, the first waves, right? We're the emotional ones. We're the ones that doesn't really take much to get us because we just really want to change the world. We're willing to throw money at anything that can do it. But the next waves, right? Like if you look at any market for natural growth cycles, they're not emotional. They need to see a correlation. They need to see that 1 + 1 = 2. They need to see that these people, they invested, and oh my god, like I'm FOMOing out. I'm missing out. I need to get into this shit. Like this, there's something that there's value I'm missing out on. I need to get in on this. And that's what you'll see clearly demonstrated over and over. And once we come out of the storm, I think we're going to shake it off, but you'll see collections start raining down utility, and you'll see, whoa, that collection skyrocketed, right? The floor went up. Everybody wanted to get in that because they're like, oh my God, that collection was delivering. And the more and more that happens, the quicker it's going to grow. And the more people are going to start running with it and seeing, oh my God, if I give and I don't worry about taking, oh my God, like I get more return. I get 5 times return in my floor and my royalties. That correlation you'll see. And again, right now, the scene we're early, but these things will be taught in school. I mean, this first band, right? We're the pioneers, we're the wizards, we're the ones forging the path. And we're doing a great job, but just be patient, right? Patience is power. We are really, for what I see, we were at NFT NYC last year. We're at NFT NYC this year. We're at NFT LA last year. The biggest thing, for what I see, there was chaos this year, but based on last year, right, there was a triple, right? They went from 5,000 to 15,000, and the amount of order that I saw, that I witnessed, I thought it was pretty amazing, and the growth that I saw, the evolution. Again, and so what I saw this year, my thinking to myself was, whoa, this is what I expected the first year, right? So going in, I think next year, you're going to see this whole thing where you'll see evolution, but we all need to be aware of just how, chaotic markets are in their infancy, and be aware of like the natural growth curves and the phases, right? And just be aware of that. And I think as long as we do that, and we understand that some of our thinking is a little bit further ahead than where it's at, and if we let things slowly catch up, and we understand that we really, we should pat ourselves on the back, realize we are pioneers. NFTs, I'll tell you, they attracted the most talented, the most amazing futuristic wizards, right? So it really did gather us. And I think that's another thing too. You'll see through these collections. That's what draws me, is like just the amazing friends, the minds, the futuristic souls that are really creating the trends and shaping the future. And if you really look at even, artists, we're talking about crypto, I know, and NFTs, but the artists, right? The Picassos of our time, these digital artists, like artists shape everything around us. Things that we see, touch, feel, hear. It's all done by artists, right? The NFT scene isn't going anywhere. Art has been, it always will be. It's a constant. So, welcome to the ride, everyone. I love you all, and I'm so looking forward to crossing paths with you in person, and let's fucking go, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, and I also know from speaking about demand too. I mean, even recently with the news with Facebook, offering they're setting it up just to mimic Discord. I don't know if you've seen that, Richard, recently with the news that's been coming out, but Facebook is getting the scene, setting everything up on Polygon, and I believe another chain that they're working on. So the demand is there, and it's going to be coming, and the adoption is going to be made. And yeah, it's just it's going to be
It's not
incredible,
if,
you know.
it's when,
Yep,
right? So the
exactly.
whole thing about the whole transition from traditional to digital, whether it's TV, radio, or art, right? We all see the storm, man. It's just gonna wipe over. I mean, it's coming. So yeah, I think all around us. I mean, Meta, Facebook, that's just the start. But there's so many things, like, right? There's there's big brands that we're aware of right now. Like, I think that's so amazing that, in the future we'll learn about. I don't think we're at leisure to speak of, but from what we're seeing all over, I mean, yeah, everybody's jumping in, and there's no going back. So beautiful times ahead for all of us believers.
Yep, 100%. I don't know if Stephen, you want to add anything from that, but including just from just, I love to just tinker around. I always like to think about these things. At least me as a marketer myself, just playing around with the technology and just seeing the growth of everything too. Another thing that really it comes to mind too is the interface of how we utilize the blockchain, right? Everyone's on MetaMask, for example, using that as their wallet interface to connect to the blockchain and so on and so forth. And seeing the future integration of how that is going to transform into profiles, right? You're going to have your own domain names, for example, that are going to be attached to them, making everything so simple and doing all these crazy things and being able to really create that personal branding around what you're working on is going to be very really interesting to see in the coming future, right? Like for example, like one of the domain names, Decentralized, that I'm a part of, or at least invested into, and have had a long time looking at. I mean, their whole concept is around creating those profiles for those for the your own address, right? And having a name behind it too, and all this stuff, and like just imagine the profiles are going to be created, the personal branding, the engagement, the customer journey cycles are going to be created through this. It's going to be really interesting to see how this all builds out over time.